G'day, it's Fish the Beach Bum Investor. Today I'm going to give you a little tip for those of you who are trading in the $500 and under range. So for the smaller investors, this is a really good tip to save you a little bit on transfer fees so that you can actually make the most out of the money that you're putting into the crypto economy. Now the first thing you're going to need is an exchange. You can use the link in the description of this video and give me commission by using that link to go to Binance, which is the exchange I'll be using for today's demonstration. You'll also need an exchange to get your fiat currency into the economy. Today I am using Coinbase. I find it pretty easy to use. 4% is a little hectic for the fees, but 4% can easily be made up if you trade well in this market. Now today what I'm going to show you is the problem with using Bitcoin. Now, most of you would think, okay, I got $500 or I'm just starting out, I got $100 to spend on the crypto economy, and your first instinct is to buy Bitcoin and to move it to an exchange. Straight away, you've just cost yourself an extra 5%, because to move that Bitcoin at the moment is roughly, well, up to $5, depending on the demands on the network at the time. But I have paid up to $5 Australian anyway. So if I'm putting 100 Australian dollars in and I go to transfer it, at $5, which is about $4 US, that's a lot of percentages already gone. So we want to try and avoid paying those little extra fees wherever we can. So what I'm going to advise to you is, rather than making your first purchase into Bitcoin, if you are a smaller investor, make it into Ethereum or Litecoin first. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, we'll use Ether for today's example, and Ethereum costs you about 1/6 of a cent to move at the moment. So it's not expensive to move around the economy, and it is very, very quick as well. So it will actually hit the exchange much quicker than Bitcoin. So at the moment, I would certainly advise your first move be into Ether. So I've just set up, I've got here my Coinbase wallet. I've got $3 worth of Ether left in there. So even if I wanted to, I could send $3 and it wouldn't be silly like it would be with Bitcoin, because it cost me $8 to send $3, the total fee, or the total transaction value. So now now that I've got my $3 or my money in my Coinbase account, all I've got to do is hit the airplane in the top right and then a scan in the address. Now, which address, you ask? Well, that's a very good question. Once we're going to go over to the computer screen for this, and once you have set up your Bittrex account, you'll get to the homepage. It'll look something like this. You can just go into funds, which is up here, and go to deposits and withdrawals. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to deposit in Ether. So we search here and we go ETH for Ether. And now what we want to do is deposit. So it's very important to get the correct address. You cannot send Ethereum to, for example, a Tether US or Ethereum Classic address. So it is very important to get the right one. Ethereum is here. We click deposit, and we can either copy this address and paste it if we're doing it from our computer account, or if we're doing it from our phone, we can actually bring up the QR code and we just go ahead and scan that on our phone if you're using the phone, and you can send the Ether through. Now I have already got a small amount of Ether in this address so that I can go straight through to showing you the demonstration. Now a lot of trades are only made in Bitcoin, so the first thing, if you are just looking to make Bitcoin trades, you're going to need to do is to trade your Ethereum into Bitcoin. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the exchange, and we're going to go to the basic exchange. And fortunately, Bitcoin to Ether is the most common pairing in the crypto economy over a long period of time. It does change day to day some days, but Bitcoin and Ether are generally the highest pairing. So what I've done here is brought up the Bitcoin and Ether market. I did this earlier, but if you need to find it, your markets are up here on the top right. So you've got your Bitcoin markets here, and that's where you find your Bitcoin Ether trade. You just scroll down to ETH, see? Or you can select your Ether trades or Binance coin trades or US dollar Tether trades. So they're the pairings that they're offered on Binance. For this, we're going to actually use our Ether to buy some Bitcoin, and then we can use our Bitcoin to buy our favorite altcoins. So what we need to do is check the exchange. Now you can see there's very, very little gap here. So you've got 41911 as the bid and 41920 as the ask. So very, very small gap. And what we can do in this circumstance, if we're really desperate just to get going, I don't usually advise this, but you can actually just buy straight off the sell book. So we see here, if I click on the the lowest sell price. It populates the field for me. Now I'm going to, I'm actually going to be selling my Ether for Bitcoin. So actually what I need to do, I beg your pardon, is actually go onto the buy book, 41919, and I'm going to sell it to this person here. So they're going to give me Bitcoin. How much do I want to sell? Let's put in 0.03. Now it's very important to put the 0 point in front of your amount if you are trading in decimals, because it won't accept it if you just put point without the 0. So you've got to put 0.03. And if I want to now, I can just sell that Ether straight to that person there. And you can see it succeeded. And that Bitcoin is already over here. Okay. So I've just bought Bitcoin now. I can go back to the exchange again. I can go to the exchange now, onto the Bitcoin exchange. And depending on what I want to buy, at the moment I'm stocking up on Komodo, for example. I like the idea of the Monet's ICO that's coming out. So for me to buy Komodo now and get a 30% discount on the Monet's ICO makes a real lot of sense. I do like Komodo as a coin anyway. But so now I can go on and buy Komodo using the BTC prices. So I'll just try and beat this top bid here because I'm pretty eager to pick it up. So I'll go to 2803. 2803. Beat that top bid, and I'll grab myself another 4 Komodo for that Monet's ICO. So that's all set, ready to go. As simple as that. And if I'm a small trader, I've just saved myself, on $100, I've just saved myself 5% instead of moving Bitcoin to an exchange to buy Komodo. I've just moved Ether to the exchange to buy Bitcoin and then use the Bitcoin to buy Komodo. So really, really good saving and an excellent tip for the people who are first getting into this economy. It can be a bit of a daunting space and the fees can add up. As I said, you want to maximize every trade you can. Every little fraction counts. It all adds up. So please use this tip. If you are trading in $500 or less, it certainly makes sense. And even for the amounts over that, it does actually make sense as well. Especially if you can set some orders and get the swing trade at the same time if you're proficient with that. Anyway, I'm going to drop plenty more little tips like this to help the noobs along the way. If you've got anything that you really wish to discuss, you can find me over on the PIVX Discord group. I'm Fish over there. I look forward to catching up with you all soon for another crypto conversation and some more crypto tips. Take it easy. Fish out.